Zach Cox here with Dakota Randall at Gillette Stadium as the Patriots are preparing to take on the Buffalo Bills for the first time this season. The first time these teams have played since that playoff game last January, which was probably one of the worst, the single worst overall performances of the Bill Belichick era for this Patriots team. The Patriots allowed 47 points in that game, allowed touchdowns on every single one of Buffalo's non-kneel down possessions. And their defense was only slightly better in the Bills' last game here a couple weeks before that. So really the spotlight this week and a chance for redemption for this Patriots defense to kind of atone for some of the mistakes that they made in those games. I know that's really been a focus of that team this week. We've heard multiple players and coaches say that the Patriots are motivated defensively to prove that those performances are not going to happen again this season.
Yeah, and I think, if you're an optimist as a Patriots fan, I think there's at least some reason to believe that this time could be different for the Patriots. I don't know if I would pick them in this game, but I do think they're the offense is getting the Buffalo defense at a good time with Von Miller being out of this game. Tre'Davious White still working his way back. They've had injuries on that defense recently. So I think, if Mac Jones and the offense can continue what they did against the Vikings, I think they should be able to move the ball and score points against Buffalo. The question, obviously, as you said, is can they slow down this Bills offense? And, that remains to be seen. This is kind of, I think, the first real litmus test for this Patriots defense. I mean, I think, I think they weren't that good against the Vikings, but I also think it wasn't quite as bad as the numbers indicated. But this is a true test. And I think, for me personally, I think they're better equipped this time around to slowing down the Buffalo, especially, better than they were in the second game, in that wild card game. Because in that game, you didn't have Jonathan Jones, who was out with an injury. You didn't have Jalen Mills, who was dealing with COVID. And what was it? Devontae Bosby played.
Yeah, you're seeing Devontae Bosby, D'Angelo Ross, Joanne Williams started that game and played close to 40 snaps.
Justin Bethel got in there in the secondary.
The Patriots cornerback group in that game was really at its worst possible state. And that's really not where you want to be against a Bills offense that at the time had one of the deepest receiving cores in the NFL. Their Patriots offense really struggled for about a 3-week stretch there. Only 2 touchdowns during their 3-game win streak. Really showed a lot of improvement in Minnesota last week, at least for the first 3 quarters. The first 3 quarters was about the best offensive football that we've seen from the Patriots this season, and maybe the best offensive football for Mac Jones in his entire NFL career. Then things sort of went off the rails in that final quarter. You can say maybe if that Hunter Henry touchdown stands, maybe things turn out a little bit differently for the Patriots. Maybe if some of those penalties that probably should have been called were called, maybe you get a different outcome. But there's still some lingering problems for this Patriots offense. They're still very bad in the red zone. They're still really struggling on third down. Those kind of gotta have it situations. Things just really have not gone the Patriots' way.
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots offense is at least going to have to score in the mid to high 20s in this game, if not more. Can they do that? We'll find out. I think what the Vikings game proved, what we already knew is that, Mac Jones is more than capable of moving the ball and putting up points if he has good protection in front of him. I mean, it was the best game for the offensive line in a long time, and you saw the results. If he gets protection, I think they can move the ball against this Buffalo defense, but they have to protect the quarterback. But for me, and really I think what's become the identity of the Patriots over the last couple of years is that they don't find ways to win those close games, and that they're not as good on the margins to sort of make up for a lot of their shortcomings like they were when Tom Brady was here. And so ultimately, I think that's where they got to win this game. They got to obviously be good on offense. They got to be good on defense. But when it comes to situational football, they got to be better on the margins in these situations, in the red zone, not taking bad penalties. Can they finally put a full, clean game together? We'll find out.
Yeah, they certainly need to avoid those missed opportunities that have really plagued them because to this point, they have not proven to be a team that can just flat out outscore a team in a full-on shootout. Mac Jones in his career 0-9 when the Patriots opponent scores 25 or more points, including 0-2 against the Buffalo Bills. Patriots will be back out on the practice field for one more day tomorrow, Tuesday, before they welcome the Bills here on Thursday night.